where are Mavericks fans at? Where are you at on Porzingis all the years after they moved on from him here?
I think everybody's mostly okay. You look at him physically, and this gets lost in the narrative discussion. He tore his meniscus against the Clippers the first time the Mavericks played the Clippers in the bubble.
Yep.
That injury. And so then the NBA season started. That was in August. The NBA season started in December. Luka was weighing like 280. Porzingis' knee was a disaster. And he really tried to get back, because this is the thing about Porzingis. He has like something like 25 lower body injuries in his time. It's really crazy if you look at the totals. But the guy always wants to play basketball. That's not a question. His body just sometimes doesn't allow for it. And I think the meniscus really impacted his ability to move and defend. The Mavericks went from being really solid at the rim to really average. He was not very good defensively. Offensively, he couldn't move around, and they had to basically run a different offense for him every couple of plays, which was a little sad. And so it went from being one of these things where Mavericks fans were mostly frustrated, but you understood why. A 7'3" guy is kind of, they call him a unicorn for a reason. He's not built to move like that. And his shooting really went to heck. Like, he was at like 29% at one point for that last season with the Mavericks, I think, from three before the trade.
Just atrocious post numbers too.
And to the point to where Rick Carlisle was saying the post is no longer a good move. And he goes to Washington and he rebuilds his body. He rebuilds the post moves and he figures some things out, and has obviously accepted a slightly different role where he gets to sort of come in for the Celtics and be he's just a buzzsaw when things are going. He's like an added bonus. Like, the Celtics obviously haven't needed him to get to the finals, but then you throw him into the mix and it's like, okay, this is just not fair. Like, this is 5-out basketball at its sort of maximum effort. So I would say most Mavericks fans are okay with him. It's a tough situation when injuries hold a guy back. I don't think, where the Mavericks fans would get tired of him, and this is just the way he speaks, like, he's one of the few athletes I've ever seen in media that actually says exactly what he means. Like, his quotes are very like matter of fact. There's no, Kyrie gives like soliloquies where things are buried in what he's saying just because he talks so much. Porzingis will come out and say, yeah, I had a bad game because I shot the ball poorly and I'm frustrated with the coach's play calling. Nobody says stuff like that. Porzingis does, though. So that, that sort of blunt honesty, I think, rubbed people the wrong way, even though it was probably the correct approach, because the Mavericks had really high hopes when Porzingis was on the team.
All right, taking a quick break to talk about Game Time. Finals going on, a lot of sporting events, a lot of concerts. It's summertime, so you're going to want to check out the Game Time app for whatever tickets you need. And the Game Time's great because you can buy tickets right up until and even after Game Time.
Right, last-minute tickets, and you get that $20 discount. I mean, you can't beat it, Bobby.
Yeah, $20 off your first purchase when you go to the Game Time app. Use the code CLNS. Of course, terms apply. That's code CLNS on the Game Time app.
Is there any what if seeing what he looks like now, or do you think it just had to be something where he moved on to a place like Washington and had to look himself in the mirror? I know he said that as well this year, that he had to reevaluate everything coming out of Dallas. So was it even going to be possible to have this version of Porzingis there, or did he have to move on and kind of have that?
He had to move on. He got traded. So he got traded from the Knicks when he was still recovering from his ACL injury. And I still think, despite the fact that Luka had kind of kicked his butt in international ball, I think that he thought he was being brought in to be the alpha and Luka was going to be the running mate. Yeah. And they started off 2019, 2020, 16-5. They just came out the gates like crazy. And then injuries started piling up, and they rebounded a little bit for the bubble, but there were really only flashes of how good they could have been.
Hey, Bobby Manning here. If you made it this far, you probably enjoyed this video, so subscribe, turn on notifications, and check out our social media platforms at Celtics CLNS